After 2 long years of training, the first thing Alicia did upon leaving was head to Loana, saying that she had finally learned everything she needed to. Upon arriving, she was shocked to see how much the place had changed. Jill mentioned that it was because the people had worked hard under Rebecca's leadership. Soon, they would encounter Nate, who now served as the village guard. He seemed to know Alicia thanks to Rebecca and the stories she had told him about her. Nate proceeded to thank Alicia for everything she had done for them, saying that for the first time in years, he hadn't seen a single child die of hunger. However, he still didn't trust her. This didn't bother Alicia in the slightest. On the contrary, she told her that she would be worried if she trusted someone she barely knew. Skeptical, Nate asked her why she had only shown up after so much time had passed, warning her not to play around with Rebecca or the others like the nobles usually did. Without hesitation, Alicia challenged him to a duel to prove their skills, as they did not know each other well enough to judge each other. She believed that crossing swords was the best way to settle things. Nate refused, claiming that he could never hit a woman. However, Alicia, appealing to his ego, commented that if he did not trust his own skills, they could try something else. Rebecca and Will, hearing the commotion, approached the circle of people that had formed around them. When they arrived, they found that Alicia had already defeated Nate. Alicia immediately explained to Rebecca that since Nate did not trust her, he had decided to show her who was stronger. The other villagers, seeing Nate's defeat, accused Alicia of cheating, but Nate corrected them, assuring them that he had not used magic or cheated, as his talent was undeniable. Alicia added that the reason Nate had lost was because, as the daughter of a noble, she had the privilege of training all day while her other needs were taken care of. Furthermore, she had learned from her brothers, who were experts in swordsmanship. She pointed out that if Nate had enjoyed the same circumstances, the outcome might have been different. With this, Alicia sought to motivate the villagers to improve, asking them if they didn't mind Rebecca. Will also stepped forward, and Alicia excitedly ran to hug him. She excitedly told him that she had mastered magic up to level 91, which greatly impressed Will. Alicia then revealed the reason for her urgency. She began to chant a spell in an ancient language. Hearing it, Jill realized that it was the ancestral language of Durkis. The spell involved transferring a part of the caster's body to the target. Alicia sacrificed one of her eyes to give it to Will, restoring his vision. At first, Will scolded her for sacrificing something so precious to her. However, Alicia replied that she just wanted him to see her. Will was very happy. It was the first time he could see Jill and the rest of the village. It was clear that Alicia was a very peculiar villain. After leaving Loana, Jill asked Alicia if her eye was okay. She told him that it didn't hurt, although she felt strange. Jill worried about how others would react to seeing her without an eye, especially her father, who had been deeply worried about her for the past 2 years. When they got home, her father fainted at the sight of her. Once he regained consciousness, he quickly asked what had happened and if she had been in an accident. Alicia explained that no, she had voluntarily given her eye to someone. Her father quickly fainted again. When he came to, they talked. Alicia's father felt a little sad, realizing that his daughter had become the kind and noble-hearted girl he had always hoped for. Alicia, for her part, told him that from now on, she would live her life in the way she thought best for herself. Still, her father assured her that he would never stop caring for her, whether she liked it or not, because he was her father. Afterwards, he congratulated her for reaching such a high magical level, and, honoring his word, allowed her to resume her role as Liz Cather's watcher. Later, Jill gave her an eye patch he had made himself. Seeing it, Alicia commented that she needed to prepare the perfect outfit to match it. When she returned to the academy in her new outfit, she caught everyone's attention. It was truly worthy of a villain. Satisfied, she declared that the return of a villain deserved a grand entrance. Then, a girl confronted her, saying she thought Alicia wasn't coming back. Alicia immediately recognized her as one of Liz's most devoted followers, sensing the hostility radiating from her. The girl confronted Alicia, accusing her of proclaiming herself as the saint's rival and calling her shallow. She pointed out that with such a pompous outfit, Alicia could never be like Liz, who didn't prioritize appearances and judged people based on their character. Alicia, with irony, replied that such words were exactly what one would expect from a devoted follower of Liz. But she added that, in reality, people judge based on appearances, just as the girl had done by criticizing hers. She went on to point out that her hair was messy and split at the ends, her skirt made her legs look thicker, and her bow was poorly tied, almost as if her careless self was reflected on the outside. The girl tried to defend herself, saying she didn't need to keep up a facade, as even Liz thought she was adorable just as she was. Alicia then asked why she kept her hair covering part of her eyes, and if Liz had never told her that her freckles were adorable. At that moment, Liz arrived and immediately asked Jane, that was the girl's name, what was going on. In a rush, Jane claimed that Alicia was insulting her appearance. Liz reassured Jane, telling her she was a beautiful girl, and then turned to Alicia, asking her to explain what had happened with Jane. Jane asked if Liz doubted her, but Liz calmly replied that she needed to hear Alicia's side as well. Without hesitation, Alicia confirmed Jane's claims, stating that Liz already knew she was an unscrupulous woman. Liz, however, told her that wasn't a reason not to listen to her side. She wanted to look people in the eye before judging them. Liz reminded Alicia of what happened 2 years ago when she acted on her own prejudices, and because of that, Alicia stopped attending classes. Liz admitted that she should have listened to her first. Alicia replied that if Liz thought she was hurt by it, she could keep her pity to herself. But Liz clarified it wasn't pity, and although it was no excuse, she had believed Alicia would be fine because she thought she could save her. Liz added that, from a young age, she always knew she was a fortunate girl, as everything she believed in came true and brought happiness to others. Now she understood her duty was to make everyone happy, including Alicia. As Liz spoke, Alicia thought that perhaps living as a heroine made one more aware of their own peculiarities. Liz continued, saying she hoped to become someone capable of saving others, and of course, Alicia too. She just needed Alicia to trust her so they could achieve a happy ending together. Alicia approached Liz, saying that while everything might have worked out so far, there was no guarantee it would stay that way forever. Then, grabbing Liz, she asked, "So, is it true that you hate me? Because 2 years ago when you stood up to the ruffian, you only stopped me. You could have easily stopped both of us, but you chose not to. I'm almost certain you did it out of spite, and I was surprised." Liz tried to explain herself, but in the end, she gently asked Alicia, "If I admit that I was cruel, would that make you happy?" Alicia, without hesitation, replied, "No, on the contrary. If you boast about being good, then you should take it more seriously. So far, all you've done is talk without demonstrating anything special. Your happy endings are nothing but opportunism, and that has always bothered me. You say you want to save everyone, but it seems like you don't have a plan. So if you are going to share your ideas, you better be more serious and actually try to carry them out." Liz was speechless. Jane, seeing this, scolded Alice, asking her what she had done to Liz. Alice, for her part, simply replied that she had told Liz that she didn't want to be saved. She preferred to live true to herself, even if it meant being hated by everyone. Meanwhile, Duke was in the library. Mel told him that everything was going according to their plan, so he should keep listening without getting worked up. Later, Alicia and Jill took a test to measure their level of knowledge. Jill's results were outstanding. With his level, he could easily be in his final year without any problems. It was incredible, considering he was only 11 years old. The headmaster, impressed, remarked that the Williams family must have an excellent tutor. However, Alicia clarified that it wasn't thanks to a teacher. Jill had studied everything on his own. Even so, the headmaster lamented that Jill was just a commoner, noting that if he could use magic, he could go much further. After leaving, Jill asked Alicia if it was true that, as a commoner, he faced certain limits. Alicia briefly explained that the kingdom was an aristocracy. Since commoners couldn't use magic, they were denied academic opportunities. Even so, not all jobs required magic, which made the system inefficient. Suddenly, a blast of ice swept through the area. Following it, Prince Duke appeared. Without hesitation, he asked about her eye patch, but Alicia replied by asking if that was really how he greeted her after 2 years. She also sarcastically thanked him for ceasing to intimidate her with his sudden magical entrances. Duke, visibly upset and concerned, grabbed her shoulders and said, "Do you have any idea how I felt without you all these years?" Seeing the look in his eyes, Alicia knew she had to say something to salvage the situation. But no words came out. Duke continued, saying that he had known since they were young about her game of playing the villainess, and he asked if that was truly what she wanted. To both Duke and Jill's surprise, Alicia said he was just a hindrance, adding that she couldn't remember ever asking him to take care of her. Deep down, Alicia knew those words weren't right. They didn't reflect what she truly wanted to say. After this, Duke simply walked away, claiming he needed to cool his head. Jill, for his part, told her that wasn't like her at all. Seeking to justify her words, Alicia replied, "Didn't you think that was exactly what a villainess would do? Now that I've made an enemy of the prince, I'm leveling up bit by bit." Jill then asked her, "Do you really believe that's how a villainess should act? Because if you do, it's pretty pathetic." Alicia reflected inwardly, telling herself that while it was fine to insult her enemies, she shouldn't break the hearts of those who cared about her. And that was precisely what she had just done. She truly was the worst. When Duke looked at her with those eyes, her mind went blank and her blood boiled. How was it possible that nothing ever went right with him? Nearby, through a window, a girl with pigtails commented, "What a clumsy villainess." If you've reached this point in the video, don't forget to leave the word exquisito in the comments. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video.